Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Welcome back, everyone. Great to be here with you. Excited to start a brand new week, especially with this being the first month of the year. Starting to get into, hopefully at a deeper level, our New Year's goals. And for me, what I wanted to share with you was a fun episode on my non-negotiables. So if you haven't created a non-negotiables list, doesn't really need to be more than 5 things or 10 things or so in your life that are the highest priority for you, I definitely recommend you do so. So I'm going to share my personal list with you today, and I would love for you to begin to think in your mind, hopefully take some notes maybe on your phone, or ideally journal what your non-negotiables are. And then you can always whittle them down to make them even higher priority, kind of lump some together. But always keep in mind that this is a fluid process, that you are allowing yourself to change this over time, depending as you move through life, what becomes the most important to you. So some of these I didn't have 10 years ago. Some of them are pretty brand new over the last 90 days. So I've added more, never really subtracted, but I kind of change in various ways what those priorities are. So, I mean, I might have sub priorities, no doubt about it, but these are my non-negotiables, meaning like, I don't ever deviate from them. It would have to be a wild extenuating circumstance that might happen like once a year. That's it. So I think you'll find out more about what I'm talking about as I start to move through these non-negotiables. And if you're kind of unfamiliar with the term non-negotiable, it means that it's something that you're not willing to negotiate on, meaning that someone could offer you something outlandish and you're just saying, no, like this is just a non-negotiable. But here's why it matters to an even greater degree. And I've shared this before, and people I think they've written in, they said they've appreciated it. It's that it allows me, when I have these non-negotiables, it allows me to not have to think about them. Meaning that if someone asks me a question, I'll give you an example. So let's just say, for example, someone wants me to head out to a party or a get together on a Wednesday night, and it goes until midnight. It's a no. It's a flat no. There's almost no extenuating circumstance that's going to have me stay out past 10 p.m. And you might say, well, that's crazy, because you're missing out on this, this, and this. Maybe that's all true. Like maybe that's true, but if you start to look at my other non-negotiables, they'll all be thrown off if I get less and less sleep. So let me take you through this, and then I think it'll start to make more sense. But the bottom line is that if you know your non-negotiables, then it's an easy yes or no answer, or it's at least an easy no answer, right? So if someone's asking you to do something outside of your non-negotiables, it's just a no. And you don't have to give an explanation if you don't want to either. They're your non-negotiables, right? This is part of your life, and that's just the way that it works. So the only person you might have to answer to is your parents if you're living at home, or your spouse if you're living, with your spouse right now. So that's really what we're talking about. All right, so let me share with you mine right now. My first one is this. I wake up every single day, every day, and this includes the weekends as well, before 6:30 a.m., okay? Typically, it's between 5:30 and 6 a.m. Lately, it's been closer to 6, and I'll share why on my second non-negotiable. So every single day, though, I wake up before 6:30 a.m. On the weekends, it's 6:30 a.m. Definitely allow myself to sleep in a little bit more. There's no wake light. There's nothing like that. And that allows me just to get a little bit more sleep, because probably on the weekend, I might be staying up a half hour later than I typically would. So that just allows me to get that little extra sleep. So why do I wake up at 6:30 a.m.? Well, here's the reason why. But by the way, that's the latest. I'm typically waking up between 5:30 and 6. So let me give you an example. I wake up at 5:45 or 6 o'clock. It gives me 1 hour until 7 o'clock before my daughters are waking up. So they might be waking up at 7, sometimes a little earlier. There's no doubt about it. It's funny how on the weekends they somehow wake up earlier, but if it's a school day, they can sleep all morning, right? Like it's very strange how that happens, for parents. They can go to bed at the same time, but yet, or even they can go to bed later and still wake up earlier on the weekend when you're trying to get a little extra sleep. But I digress. So, between that 6 and 7 o'clock hour, that's the time that I have for myself. Before then, I want to be present for my daughters before they leave for school. I want to be present and help my wife with whatever is needed that morning before I then head off to work. And when I'm at work, it is creating content, it's managing my team, it's holding meetings, it's doing interviews, it's doing recordings, whatever it is, I'm trying to serve to the best of my ability. Then after that, and I'll talk about that in number 2, that I have my workout at the gym. Then I'm home with family until it's bedtime. So that's how I structure my day, and I really enjoy it. And so if I'm staying up later, well, then I don't have that. My only me time, which is in the morning really, except for that half hour at the gym, is that I don't get that time. So that's a non-negotiable because I want some time so that I can give the rest of the day to everyone else. That's my goal, right? So I just get a little bit of time in the morning, which I'm very happy with. And that allows me then, that's my me time to kind of focus myself, inspire myself, and get ready for the day and be able to start how I want in a more peaceful, relaxed manner. All right. So that's number 1. Number 2 is this. Work out Monday through Friday. It wasn't always this, but it is now. And I don't see myself ever changing that. All I do is I say, excuse me, all I do is I say that by the very latest, by 5 o'clock to 5:30, I'm in the gym. It could be 4:30 to 5. If I'm getting home earlier, it could be 4:45 to 5:15. But for a half hour, I'm in the gym or I'm outside exercising Monday through Friday. And I talked about this last week. My current program is Monday weights. Okay, it's weight training, resistance training. Tuesday cardio, Wednesday weights, Thursday cardio, and Friday weights. Weekends are all family time, fun time. I'm active. I'll be sharing that in a moment. But that's my Monday through Friday. It's a non-negotiable. Every single day, I'm in the gym, exercising, moving my body. It doesn't have to be a super hard workout. It doesn't have to be a brutal workout, but it keeps me on target. Why is that another non-negotiable? Well, just like the first one, I need to make sure I get enough sleep, right? So up by 6:30, but I should have in there as well. It should be part of my non-negotiable. I don't go to bed past 10 p.m., right? So 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. is 8 hours of sleep. Okay, so I have that, right? Because I need my energy. I need to be able to have a lot of output during the day. Just like you, I'm sure you're very busy, right? So you need to have that output. And I need my rest, which comes back to that, which is why always never sleep past 6:30. But I'm also working out now 5 days a week. So my body needs a little bit more recuperation time, right? So that's why I try to get to bed between 9:30 and 10 and up by 6. That allows that 8 hours of sleep. Okay, so those are my non-negotiables there. Why do I exercise? I exercise because I'm trying to not only keep my body in shape, which I feel serves me for good quality of life, but also I feel like it also gives me more energy long-term because I'm creating and helping to produce more mitochondria in my body. All right, number 3 is this. No alcohol Sunday through Thursday. Okay, no alcohol Sunday through Thursday. All school nights, as I call it for myself, all school nights are no alcohol. That's it. I typically choose 0 to 1 nights per week to have alcohol, and that would be 1 to 2 drinks at most 1 night a week. So when you look at the grand scheme of things, it's kind of like my intermittent fasting for the 24-hour Monday fast. I do it 3 out of 4 Mondays a month. For alcohol, I'm not doing any during the month of January, but it could be 2 to 3 nights out of a month, right? And typically a Friday night, and it would be maybe like 3 out of 4 Friday nights. I might have 1 drink. That's it. Again, you could drink far more, and that's great. These are just things that I choose to do. Never more than 2 drinks. Just because I don't like how I feel the next day and I want to have energy the next day and no brain fog and all of that. And also for recovery, I like to move my body. I like to be active with my daughters, all those things. And I just don't want to be sluggish. That's it. And so alcohol is fun while you're drinking it for many people. But that's about it. It's kind of short-lived and it certainly is detrimental to the body over time. All right. So that's it. Very simply put, if I am working that next day, there is no drinking. It doesn't mean if I have friends in town, if I have people in town, I'm still not drinking. I go out to dinners sometimes during the week. Still, again, no alcohol. All right. Again, this does not mean it's your non-negotiables, but I'm just sharing with you mine that I've developed over the past few years. Number 4 is this. Dinner every single night with my daughters, and after dinner is still their time as well. So I think of it like from 5 o'clock at night, right around 5 o'clock at night, to when they go to bed. That's somewhere between like 7:30 and 8. Okay. So then again, your kids might go to bed at 9 o'clock, whatever it might be, that's fine. Again, I'm just giving you what we do in my family. All right. So, and again, they're still young, which is great. So we have that time together where we can have dinner. I ask them about their day. I'm asking what's going on. I'm asking, anything challenges that they're going through. And then after dinner, we might play some type of game. We love playing cards, things like that. And so that, or just talking, hanging around, my daughter's, jumping all over me on the couch, whatever it might be, that's their time. So that's every single night. Because when I was first opening up my locations in Boston, I wasn't home every single night for dinner. I just wasn't. I was simply not able to, because you can't do everything, right? You can't do everything all at once. And so when you're starting up a brand new business, it's very challenging, and you need to be there to make it work, at least for most people. Okay. But now I am, which I'm very happy about, and have been for many, many years now. My 5th non-negotiable is only 1 weekend per month I'm away. So I could literally travel about every single week of every single month. And most seminars and workshops and talks and all that are on weekends, or on like a Friday or Saturday. So before the pandemic, I was traveling 2 weekends per month, typically. And I would do that not every month, but it was like the January through, let's say, May, and then I wouldn't travel June, July, August, and then I would travel September, October, and then I wouldn't travel November, December. So, and that would be 2 weekends a month, and I'd be speaking on stage, I'd be meeting great people, all sorts of amazing things. And then I said, you know what? I don't want to be away from my daughters now that they're now 7 and 9. Before they were 2 years in, so they were 5 and 7. I just said, no, not anymore. So when they were 5 and 7, I stopped traveling 2 weekends out of the month, and that was it. And so again, it was like 7 out of the 12 months, and now 1 weekend, and I have a limit on that as well. Never gone for more than 3 days. So that's it, and that's per month. So 3 days per month, and that is that. Okay, let's see, that was number 7. Okay, so we're on number 7. No, number 6, weekends off. Yes. So weekends are off. All right. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Again, in my line of work, I could work all day long. There were times in my life before I had children, and really until my oldest daughter was maybe a year and a half, 2 years, I worked every single day, and I worked a ton of hours. And that might not be right for you, and I get it. I totally understand it. I had something I was trying to accomplish that meant a lot to me. And, again, it's not like family doesn't mean a lot to me, but I worked a lot. And yes, I was still home for my daughter at night. And yes, I was still home on the weekend, but I was often working on the weekend as well. And just par for the course with what I was doing. But again, when she was around 18 months or so, that ended and the weekends were off. Now I still have to check in with the 2 locations I had in Boston, all of that. That stopped about 3 years ago. But the weekends off has always been very important to me, because until I was probably around 36 years old or so, 36, no, maybe more like 34, 35, I worked all the time, and that's really what I was doing. And, people always ask, does it take a lot of hard work to be able to achieve whatever you'd like to achieve? And I always say, well, it depends on the goal, and it depends on how many hours it takes to get there. And so it's that type of process. And I was willing to pay that price because it's what I loved. And I'm very happy that I did it. But now I'm also happy to be able to take weekends off. So they're completely off with family. Number 7 is this. Weekly planned activity with family. So they do their sports, they do their dance, they do all these amazing things. Maybe it's swimming lessons, not so much anymore because they know how to swim, but that's not exactly part of it. Okay. What I like to do is one other thing besides them being with a class or an instructor that's family based. So if we're in Maine, I'm taking my daughters on a hike. That's one of the things they love to do, and I love to do it as well. We're in nature. There's no phones. The only time I might take my phone out is take a photo of them. That's it. So there's kind of disconnected, which is really nice. So I love being able to do that. And we do that all the time in Maine. On the weekends, it's easy. We're taking them to the beach. We're doing like some family-based activity that's like a focused activity, not just kind of hanging around. It's like, oh, what do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? What do you like? It's you just kind of go back and forth. So I make sure that there's an activity. I'll take them ice skating. I'll take them to the beach. I'll take them on a hike. I'll do a family-focused activity so that, again, luckily, they don't have any cell phones, but what happens when they're teenagers? I don't know. My wife and I will have to decide then, but I don't want us to all be sitting around on our phones. Okay. So I want us to be focused, especially when they're younger, so that we develop, those bonds and the relationships and we can do things outside of the internet. Right. So that's very important to me. All right. Number 8, a non-negotiable. I read 2 to 3 books every single week. All right. Every single week, I read 2 to 3 books. And for a while, I would, binge read, and I would read like 4 or 5 books, and then I wouldn't read any. And I was kind of off for, I would say, the last 6 to 8 months. And it's because I lost interest in a lot of the health books out there because it's the same thing being regurgitated in just slightly different ways. And it's all like marketing based, and there's not a lot of substance as much. So I just found myself reading tons of research. I would just read lots and lots and lots of research, so many research studies. And of course, I was doing a lot of research on formulations for our new longevity line. So that was important to me. So that took up a lot of my reading time. So it was the same amount of time I carved out. And then I was reading a lot on basically futurism. And I like to read on the future of what may be coming with artificial intelligence, machine learning, and not in a negative way. So how could that possibly be used in the integrative health space with machine learning or certain algorithms created by artificial intelligence that might be better predictors at health risks in the future? So I love all of that. And so I read quite a bit on that. This year, I want to just come back and read 2 to 3 books a week. Again, I've done this for my entire adult life since about 22 years old. And what I'd like to do is have varied interests. So it's not just going to be on health. I love reading about self-improvement still. I certainly read more on psychology, which I enjoy. I'll read about new types of cryptocurrency and NFTs and things like that to get my mind saying, okay, well, what is this? What exactly does it mean? It's becoming more and more popular. Are we moving there? And it just it makes my mind think in new ways. And I really like that. So that's certainly what I'm doing. Not every book will be a winner, I'm sure. But I'm going to share my favorites, of course, on the Friday reviews. All right. Number 9 is this. It is dinners out on Friday night with the family. This might seem like a strange non-negotiable. And it's out of all of them, it's the weakest because it doesn't matter whether I go out Friday night or not with my family. It doesn't matter. But here's why I'm making it non-negotiable for this one is the only one I was kind of going back on forth on because it's okay if I miss it. But here's the thing. What I like to do is I like to kind of set the stage for things. So for example, when I'm recording, I have everything set up how I want it to be for recording. So my mind is in the right place. I've got my hydration in one spot. The phone is off. There's I get literally a million emails, Slack messages, DMs. It's incomprehensible. It really is. But I have everything I need right here, but I don't have anything more than I need. So how does that make sense with going out to dinner with your family on Friday night? Okay. So Monday through Friday for most people is kind of all school and activities for the kids and all work and family life and family management for families and adults. And this goes for college students. This goes for anybody. So you're kind of just like in it, head down Monday through Friday. Dinner out Friday night, what does it do? It takes that breath, right? So now you can relax. That's basically it. It sets the stage. It switches gears. I'm a big advocate of switching gears in your life. I've talked about that. It's the ability to turn off the sympathetic nervous system and turn on the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and relax whenever you want. So when I want to do that, I go for a walk at lunch. I put on binaural beats. I breathe. I relax. I don't check text messages. Emails or anything like that. And that just sets the tone. Okay, so now I'm relaxed. Good. Now I can start lunch and I can start the second half of my day, whatever be. This is what I found. It's very, very interesting. And I would love for you to try it as well. We're not talking about fancy restaurants here. So my wife and I, there's a certain period of time we enjoyed going out to a fancy restaurant, a nice place, not so much anymore. We honestly don't. Like, we like to go out to dinner at just some of our favorite spots. They're more relaxed. You don't need to get dressed up. We can bring our girls. It's a great time. And we bring our girls everywhere. Don't get me wrong. They'll go to any restaurant with us. They'll travel anywhere, even if they're the only kids. I want to expose them to that. I want them to know about all these different things. And anyway, that's what we do. But I just like to go to a more relaxed spot, and that's what we do. So we'll go to a place like a True Food Kitchen, if you've ever heard about that, or someplace like that. That's just what we're doing. We're relaxing, enjoying. But here's what I found is, at least for me, but I found the same thing with my daughters, that if we go out Friday night, then it already feels like that's a weekend day. Right? So then when Saturday and Sunday are there, we're like, whoa, like the weekend just feels longer, because we kind of set that tone right away. Okay, what do? Well, we did something different. We went out to dinner. Okay, we don't usually do that. My wife cooks great meals Monday through Thursday, typically the other weekend nights as well, or we might do takeout. But then we have all of Saturday. We have all of Sunday. It's really nice. And so as many Friday nights as I can, I'm going to do that. Now, I know it's a luxury. I understand that. Not everyone's able to do that, but maybe you do takeout, or maybe, which is sometimes what we do as well, we do a family movie night on a Friday night. And that also sets the stage. So again, there's lots of ways to do that. It's just Friday night, make it different. All right, number 10 is this. And this is a big one. Non-negotiable for me is supporting my wife and my family and my wife's family in any way that I can. Okay, that's the bottom line. Does that mean that, what it doesn't mean? It simply means I'm there for family anytime they may need me. And I really want to be there. If someone says, hey, do you have time for a quick talk tonight? The answer is yes. That's it. The answer is yes. So I could talk with one of my brothers, my sister, my brother-in-laws, my sister-in-law. Who else could I talk with? I could talk with my parents, but it's also just making sure that I check in with them. That's basically it. With my wife, who's obviously the most important person in my life. She is the center of our family. She takes care of our daughters. She takes care of me. She takes care of our family. She takes care of our almost 11-year-old incontinent French bulldog. She takes care of all of us. So I'm just making sure, hey, is there anything I can support you with? What can I help you with? And so I'm just making sure that I check in. And I'm, I can be annoying to her with that. It's like, hey, what can I do? How can I help? And she's like, you can just allow me to do what I'm doing, whatever she may say. But I just want to make sure, again, like all kidding aside, it's just making sure that no matter how busy I am, that I don't forget about the most important people in my life. And that's basically it. So those are my 10 non-negotiables. Again, they're very unique to me. Why? Well, they go back to all of the things that matter to me, which is my overall health. I can't stay healthy if I'm not eating good food, if I'm drinking alcohol, if I'm not sleeping, get enough sleep, I'm not exercising, right? So it's about health. It's about keeping my body in shape, right? Does that a vanity metric? No, not at all. If I'm in shape, I have more energy. That's the bottom line. I get to do more of what I love. I have plenty of energy for my whole family, my daughters. I've got plenty of energy for my work. I've got plenty of energy for everybody, right? So that matters. And then I just make sure that relationships are there, my spirituality, my growth is there through the reading and development. And so again, like everything is there. Everything that I want is there, and it can kind of fit within these non-negotiables. So I would love to hear yours as well. And one thing I'd just say is a lot of people ask, well, how do you do all of these things and make them all happen? The bottom line is, for me, they're very easy. They're honestly very easy. Everything that can be scheduled is scheduled on my calendar. There's no to-do lists. Go back to my podcast. I'll link it up today if you want to go to stephencabral.com/2173. I'll link up why you should never use a to-do list, only use a calendar. So basically throw out your to-do list. But everything is easy. It's simply there on my calendar. And then if something comes up like, hey, do you want to go to this party? It starts at 9 p.m. The answer is no. Do you want to go out to dinner tonight? The answer may be a yes, but I won't be drinking if it's a Wednesday night. Like, that's just the way that it is. It's very simple. It's very structured. And it's not me being mean to anybody. I can say yes a lot of the time, but I can also share with them, hey, here's why I'm doing it. And it's also a nice conversation. It's a great time for both of us to share different sides of our belief system. So that is that. Hopefully, again, this was helpful. I would love to get your feedback. Simply leave a comment below on YouTube or Instagram. Follow, like, subscribe, as they say. And the reason is I want to make sure that I'm bringing you great content every single day. Take care, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into today's show. And hopefully you heard all last week about our brand new Ioboan-based membership. This is not just another membership. This is not just another online-based program. This is a program that is built around you and our global health community. It is the program that I've been looking to create for the past 5 years, and finally, we've been able to do it in partnership with Equalife. This means that we are going to truly help you figure out your underlying root cause imbalances. If you're already well, great. We're going to show you how to optimize your body. And if you're not feeling well, or you're gaining more weight than you like, or you're aging at a much faster rate, we're going to help you with that as well. Here's what we're going to do. Every 90 days, we are going to ship you out a brand new lab test, and that lab test is going to come with a 30-minute coaching consultation. This means you're not only going to get the lab test, you're going to get the results, you're going to get the coaching call, and you're also going to get a customized plan. I mean, it can't get any better than that. And it's not just about the lab testing, which shares with you these underlying root causes, but we're also going to provide you with master classes every single month. This means that we're going to be doing workshops. So these are real workshops with experts in their field. I have many amazing colleagues that I want to introduce you to. We're talking about celebrity chefs, teaching you the best recipes, showing them creating these recipes. We're going to be working with mental health based therapists. We're going to be working with the best exercise professionals out there. We're going to be talking about people that create the binaural beats, people that do the absolute best breath work based programs out there, hot and cold based therapy. And again, this is going to be interactive. We're going to be doing this live on video, and then we're also going to be taking our community's questions, Q&A at the end. This is exclusive to our new Ioboan-based members. Absolutely phenomenal. Again, I have so much more that I want to share with you, but I'm going to keep it at that for today. I'm going to send you over to the membership page because, again, I could go on, and I have a video explaining that there, but I want you to know all of this is going to culminate in April when we release our brand new app. Again, this is members only, charter members only for these first 90 days of anyone that is joining before that is going to get access to this app. And this app is going to be next level, providing you with exercise, nutrition, all your lab results, everything stored in one place. We can also create your ideal day and your ideal week. You and your coach will be able to work together. So if you're currently working with an integrative health practitioner, you'll be able to work with your integrative health practitioner. If you're working with someone on our team, you can work with our team. This is the future of healthcare. It really is. This is where we're going to be taking people where they learn that they're able to take control of their own health. I want to share with you all the details. So if you want to head on over right now to equa.life, you'll be able to find all of those details by clicking on that Ioboan-based banner. I'll give you a direct link as well. Go to equa.life/Ioboan or stephencabral.com/Ioboan. But they'll all send you to the same place. And Ioboan is spelled AYUBOWAN. Ioboan by Equalife. It is the future. I would love to have you as part of the community. I would love to be chatting with you too on our next workshop. Take care, everyone.